Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. On today's episode, we're gonna go to the first witness of the state. Gonna start with that. It's gonna be emotional. It's one of those things where I remembered why I started doing these videos, and this gave me the chance to respond to one of the comments on the last one because they say that I treated basically they said that someone said that I treated this as a joke, that I guess I don't show respect to the families of the victims or something like that. But I just want to say that that is not the purpose why I make these videos. I make this I make them because I want to interact with the community around this, and I found a lot of incredible people talking about this because it's an important subject that people should know. It doesn't matter that it happened 5 years ago or yesterday. You can learn a lot about this case. And that's why I do it. And at the same time, I believe that dehumanizing monsters like Darrell Brooks makes it more manageable because reality, it's something, you know? Reality is what it is. But if we learn from this and spread good around, I believe that we can make a better place. And that's why I make these videos. With that, I just want to say that you guys matter. You guys are great. And I'm very happy that you guys are here. Everyone, really. And I'm so happy, and I'll always be so thankful that you guys take a little bit of your time to pass it with me. And I'm more than thankful for that. But with that, let's just get into the video. Sorry about that. Just wanted to say it.
Mr. Brooks, my first question to you is, will you be making an opening statement at this point or deferring until your case, meaning the defense portion of the case?
I will be deferring at this time, Your Honor. I need a little more adequate time to make sure I go over the points that I need to make.
All right, then the court will honor that request, advise the jury he's deferring his opening statement until a later point in the proceedings.
I mean, that is his right, but you will know when he makes his opening statement, he doesn't prepare at all. He said that he want to make it from his heart, which doesn't exist, but he doesn't prepare anything.
I am going to just take a short break so I can talk some logistics with the parties to determine whether it makes sense to start with a witness tonight yet. It's 4 o'clock, a little bit after, or wait until tomorrow. So either way, you'll come back because you'll either hear testimony or I'll read an instruction for you. But at this point, the jury may be excused.
All right, we're going to go in a little bit of a pause.
Attorney Upper, your first witness, how long would that witness be?
Our first witness is Sergeant Warner. I expect his testimony to take 10 to 15 minutes on direct. I would ask that you would hear his testimony this evening, or this afternoon, Your Honor. He was supposed to have left town at about noon today to take his daughter on a college visit in Kentucky. He's delayed his departure so he could provide his testimony. And if we can get him in and out, he will leave at 5 o'clock and arrive at midnight at his destination. I have a second witness, if the court would hear me, who's here as well. Her testimony probably would also take about 15 minutes on direct, maybe a little longer. No? Mr. Mitchell says no. She has traveled here from Janesville. Her transportation is also difficult, and so she's here and ready to go if the court would indulge those two witnesses this afternoon.
That certainly seems reasonable. Mr. Brooks, my question to you then is, do you want to come back over for the testimony of those witnesses?
Yeah, the second witness is Corey Runkle, which she does end up testifying, and we're going to see that tomorrow.
I would prefer to. I'm still kind of taken aback by not being able to know exactly how many witnesses are expected to testify, and not being able to turn in my own witness list.
Well, Mr. Brooks, you've been given copies of the witness list. The state's offered you a flash drive with all of the exhibits to streamline what will be presented at trial versus what is in discovery, so you've had ample opportunity to review those. I'm happy to bring you back. I need you to pledge to me that you will follow the rules of procedure and evidence, that you will only interrupt if you have an objection. That objection needs to be founded in law. And then you need to pledge to me that you will honor whatever decision I make so that the testimony of these individuals can proceed within the time frame that the prosecution has indicated it will take. You, of course, will have an opportunity to cross-examine them. Are you willing to follow the rules of courtesy and decorum and the rules of procedure and evidence?
And remember, this is the first day of the trial. Like the actual we are going into the trial. This is before he can get all the feedback of his, I don't know, advisor. Like I think it's his mom or his mom boyfriend, something like that. So he's very calm right now. You notice how he said that he didn't turn on his witness list yet, but yeah, he's fairly early in the trial.
From what you explained yesterday, the objections you said have to be like, I think you said like 3 words. Is the way to actually object. So I don't recall you.
I can give you up to a sentence. What I am trying to avoid, sir, are what are called speaking objections. The idea behind that is that you give me just a little bit of information so that I can either make a determination or, if appropriate, send the jury back out so that I can then hear arguments from the parties. Some objections really are one word, hearsay, maybe 3 words, calls for speculation, things of that nature. So if you're willing to abide by that procedure, then you can come back to this courtroom.
Okay, now this is a pivotal moment. This is a cornerstone moment on Darrell Brooks' behavior during the whole trial. Like what she just did is she just gave him a weapon, and now he's gonna be able to say objections every single question, every single time that he wants to. She should have never advised him of this. It's not her work. Like I guess she wanted to move the trial forward, but she gave him a weapon that he shouldn't have. It made the trial way more difficult.
I can't really definitively give an answer right now to that.
So you're not willing to follow the rules of courtesy and decorum and procedure and evidence?
That's not what I said.
That's what she's asking. It's a yes or no question. So is it a yes or is it a no?
That's why I'm asking the clarification question, sir.
I was clear in what I said. I don't think I can make that determination right now.
So it's a no.
Let me ask it this way, sir. You may reclaim your right to be present if you are willing to conduct yourself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings. Are you able to do that, sir?
I thought I have.
Yes or no question?
Sir, it's I think, a fairly simple question. I'm asking you if you are willing to conduct yourself appropriately. I'll shorten it to that. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately, sir?
I have, to the best of my ability.
Sir, please answer my question directly. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately?
I have conducted conducted myself appropriately.
No, you haven't. That's the reason why you're over there. Just say yes or no. And if I were the judge, I would be like, okay, that's a no. Whatever. Let's move on.
I'm not asking about your past behavior. I'm asking if you're willing from this point forward, for the purposes of the testimony of two witnesses, to conduct yourself appropriately.
I have.
That's not my question. That's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm not asking if you have. I'm asking if you're willing going forward to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these two witnesses. Yes or no?
I'm going to end up getting put back over here eventually if I come over there.
Mr. Brooks, I'm further advising you, I'm looking for a direct answer of yes or no, and that your failure to give me a yes or no answer will be considered by this court to be non-responsive. So let me ask you the question one more time. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these two witnesses?
To be 100% honest, I cannot answer that.
Then it's a no. Move on.
All right, then based on that answer, which is non-responsive to the question that I asked, he has not given me a pledge or indication of a willingness to conduct himself appropriately going forward, and based on that, he'll remain where he is. You will remain unmuted, and so if you have an objection, you can lodge that objection within accordance or according to the rules of evidence, sir. All right, with that, let's have the jurors brought back in, and we'll start with the taking of testimony.
One quick second to put this up, then you're on.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I don't think it'll take long if you want to call for him. Or do the call.
Let's
Non-responsive.
What?
You did not answer yes or no.
That's it?
All right, do we need to
So
back
that's
out?
taken as non-responsive.
Do I need?
Yes, she just said that like 3 times. It's a non-responsive answer if you say anything other than yes or no.
Oh, I wanted to see if the camera angle. So have him wait for a sec, please. Sorry.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
And muted.
I'm not going to answer any other questions at this point. The state's setting up a map for use with a witness. I want to make sure that it's something that is viewable on the witness camera that is being transmitted into the courtroom where you are seated. So let me back up.
The whole thing.
Let me back up, zoom out a bit. No, you're not muted yet. Mr. Brooks, if you're asking me to make a judicial determination, I've already rendered a decision about where you're going to be.
She didn't like that she said yet. But like what she means is that if you keep interrupting this, you're gonna get muted.
Because I didn't answer your question the way you wanted to.
All right, I'm going to mute you, sir. Now
There
we're
you go.
moving on to that part of the procedure, since you are you're not following the protocol that I've set in place, that you are back to one of these sovereign tactics about, have I made a judicial determination? The record speaks for itself, sir. I'm not going to make a further record on that, nor will I answer the question about, am I making a judicial determination? I've made a decision, and that decision is you will remain in the other courtroom. Once the jury is brought back in, I will unmute so that you can lodge objections, but if you interrupt without making an objection and just start talking about a judicial determination, then I'm going to mute you once again, and the procedure for objecting will require that you raise your sign, write it out, and provide it to the bailiff, who will provide it to the court so that I can rule on it. If that slows things down, then so be it. But that's the procedure that I'm going to follow.
Good.
All right, the jurors can be brought in then.
And he's muted.
As a reminder, I'm not requiring an all rise even for the jurors. I understand you may do it, but there's a reason why I'm not requiring it. So
Raise your sign.
very well, then the state may call its first witness.
Thank you, Judge. State call Sergeant Dave Warner.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat, at least initially, or do you want him to stay standing?
No, actually, you can start out seated, please.
Very well. Sir, would you please state your first and last names for the record and spell each?
Yes. My name is Sergeant David, D-A-V-I-D, Warner, W-A-N-N-E-R.
Thank you. Go ahead, Attorney Opper, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, how are you employed?
I'm a patrol sergeant with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
18 years.
And as patrol sergeant, what are your general duties and responsibilities?
I oversee officers across all shifts that are assigned to the patrol division.
I want to direct your attention to the date of November 21, 2021. Did you work that day?
Yes.
Were there any events occurring in the city of Waukesha that afternoon?
The Waukesha Christmas Parade was that afternoon.
Has the Christmas parade been held in years prior to 2021?
Yes, every year that I've been employed at the police department, we've had a Christmas parade.
So over 18 years of Christmas parades. I'm gonna look up later since when they start doing that.
And is it typically that third week in November before Thanksgiving?
Yes, every year that I can remember it has been.
Okay. Is there any planning or preparation that goes into holding a parade in Waukesha?
Yes, there are meetings with the group that's putting on the parade in advance. There's also a group of individuals that prior to the parade, usually the Friday before, will post no parking signs along the parade route. There's a group from our city garage or Department of Public Works that'll put out barricades at the designated intersections where we request them to put them out.
And what about manpower? What type of manpower would you devote to an event like this, sir?
It's rather significant given the large area that a parade like this encompasses, the estimated amount of attendance at the parade between detectives, police officers, supervisors, reserve officers, community service officers. I would say we have in excess of 30 additional bodies planned that day just to handle the parade itself.
Yeah, and if you look at behind him, like over here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 streets that they have to cover. So they need a lot of people.
You mentioned the use of individuals such as reserve officers and community service officers, I think you said. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are those sworn law enforcement officers?
They are not sworn, no.
What is their role or function?
The reserve officer group is a group of people who volunteer their time to help with events like parades. They're given training in directing traffic and closing streets down. A community service officer is a paid position. They're part-time employees, usually younger individuals looking to learn more about a career in law enforcement.
And you said also parking attendants would be assisting in this endeavor?
Correct. We're usually looking to get as many extra bodies as we can, and the assistance from our parking agents is usually required for this event as well.
And this would be in addition to the sworn law enforcement officers that are assigned to work the parade?
Correct.
And obviously you still need other officers to patrol the city, correct?
Yes.
Where is the parade held?
The parade takes up a large portion of our downtown area. There's a staging area that the floats before the parade that they're all instructed to assemble in a particular area along White Rock Avenue between Niagara Street and Main Street. And that's about a 3-hour process of getting all the parade participants into that area and lined up accordingly. The parade itself runs along Main Street from White Rock westbound to the Veterans Park area where it makes a turn and then heads up Wisconsin Avenue and ends near the Waukesha Public Library.
Sir, if I could ask you to stand up and refer to the diagram behind you. This is a map that's been marked as States Exhibit number 1. Do you see that sticker in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's incredible. Like watching this map and seeing all the way that he made through this street, like way down. It's incredible to think that he couldn't stop. He could just hit the brakes. Or maybe don't hit the brakes, just go through any of these streets that go through to the bottom. You don't have to go through where all the people are. It makes me so mad.
I'm sorry, it's a little tight up there. But if you could start in the upper right-hand corner of the map, and Your Honor, if we put up the digital copy of the map as well, I know it's hard to see, but then we'd have to do the screen share again. Is that correct?
Yes, it's my understanding.
Okay, I'm going to ask the paralegal to please put up States Exhibit number 1 on the digital copy as well.
Go ahead.
All right, and Ms. Gussie, if you could zoom in on the upper right-hand corner, please. There you go. All right, sir, you can use the map, the big map in front of you, please, and the jury can follow along with the digital copy if they want. So starting in the upper right-hand corner. Yes. What's up there, please?
That is Frame Park.
And what's at Frame Park?
Frame Park has a lot of, it's got a playground for children, there's a very large baseball diamond, different shelters, there's a formal garden, there's a boat launch. It's a very large park in our city that encompasses a lot of different activities.
Is the boat launch shown on Exhibit 1?
Yes, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, they described the whole route of the parade. I decided to move along because it was a lot of time going through that. But here comes the hardest part of the video. Like, prepare for this part. It's incredible to see how much of a mark this event left on people. It actually took me a few days after I edited this for me to be able to sit down here and record it because I couldn't.
Time of day do you start sending officers out to their locations along the route here?
At 1 p.m. is when the initial few officers head out to secure the staging area. So they're out there from 1 o'clock until about 3:30. Between 3 and 3:30 is when the rest of the personnel assigned to the parade would have arrived at their locations along the route.
All right. And I assume you're in some, Your Honor, we just lost part of the Polycom.
Well, we'll pause. See what happened otherwise.
And we can take that down for now. We don't need the state table displayed at the moment.
Mr. Brooks, we lost you for a second. As soon as we knew it was down, we stopped. We didn't take any additional testimony. I just want to confirm you can see and hear me.
Yeah, I can hear.
And you can see the 4 cameras, so the witness as well?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I cut all the
Okay, so
yeah, all the technical issues. I just cut the dead air of that. You don't need to hear that.
there's somebody that's running the parade as far as lining up the participants and making sure everybody that's walking in the parade is where they're supposed to be, correct?
Correct.
Is there a title for that person?
Boy, I wouldn't know.
Your objection's noted, it's overruled. He may testify about the question asked.
Or is there somebody that you were dealing with directly that was kind of responsible for the units of the parade and you're responsible for the security of the parade?
Yes, there was
Overruled, he may answer.
there is a lady from the Chamber of Commerce who put on the parade. That just prior to the parade starting, I had a face-to-face contact with to inform her that the route was ready for the parade.
Now, how do you know that? How do you know that the route was ready to go?
Between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, I had driven the route several times within the parade route on the street that was shut down. It was my duty as the incident commander of the parade to make sure that the officers or personnel assigned to the parade were all in their location, that all the barricades were in place, that there was no holes in the parade route that we missed in the planning, and as a final security sweep of the route just to ensure everything was in place as we had planned for it to be.
Can you estimate how many spectators were present?
Objection.
At what time?
I'm sorry, at the start of the parade.
Thousands. Once the parade had started, I was not on the route anymore. I think the last time I drove the route itself would have been just before 4 o'clock as my final lap through.
Okay. And there's spectators on both sides of the road, north and south sides of Main Street?
Correct.
And all the way from Hartwell all the way down to Veterans Park at the end there near Wisconsin Avenue?
Yes, I'd say the majority of this.
Hold on, there's been an objection. Go ahead, what's your objection?
That is hearsay. We can't know.
How is that hearsay? He's recalling his own recollection. That's the opposite of hearsay.
Sure, where everybody was at.
The objection is noted. It is overruled based upon the foundation previously laid by the witness. Go ahead.
The spectators are primarily from the intersection of White Rock and Main Street westbound.
So you were satisfied it was appropriately safe to start the parade, is that right, sir?
Yes.
What did you do?
I had face-to-face contact with the organizer of the parade. I indicated to her that I checked the route and from the police side of things that we were ready for the parade to proceed, and let her know that she could begin whenever she was ready.
About what time of day was that?
It was right about 4 p.m.
And you had mentioned the units were staging on White Rock near where you were posted, is that right?
Yes.
And did you see as the units would enter the parade route, then they all kind of move forward, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Hearsay.
Overruled.
She's asking him direct questions about what he's saying.
the parade participants are set up on either side of White Rock Avenue, and they're kind of funneled together into almost a zipper type fashion as they enter the parade route.
And as they march forward towards the parade route, then at some point is the road behind them vacant?
Correct.
And what do you do when that happens?
We try to cause as little disruption in the city. Shutting down White Rock Avenue, it's a very major thoroughfare in the city, and having it shut down for that extended period of time causes some pretty significant traffic problems. So as the road is no longer occupied by parade participants, we try to open up the road from behind them, keeping the back of the parade shut down, always taking into account a street for a car to turn off onto. So
Did you remain in that same position near White Rock and Hartwell?
yes.
And do you remember how you had your squad positioned?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Overruled.
I had my squad positioned across White Rock Avenue in an east-west fashion, essentially in the middle of the roadway. The road is much wider than the SUV squad I was driving is. I positioned it that way to give a visual representation to motorists that the road wasn't open.
And is your squad marked or unmarked?
It is unmarked.
Objection irrelevant.
It's relevant. The answer may stand. Make sure if you hear an objection, sir, that you wait until I rule on it too. Thank you.
This is gonna be every other question. Also, off screen, I'm keeping a tally since this point of the trial when the witness start of how many objections Darrell Brooks make. Let me know in the comments how many objections you think we're gonna have by the end of the trial. Because so far we're at 7, and we are 5 minutes into the first witness.
Are there red and blue lights on your squad car, sir?
Yes.
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled. The answer may stand.
Did you have your red and blue lights activated as it was parked across the roadway?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
Actually, give me 1 minute.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. For you, it will be immediate, but give me 1 second. Okay, now on the top right of your screen, you're gonna be able to keep track with me how many objections there has been. So let's go.
You remember hearing something about a disturbance near the boat launch?
Yes.
Objection hearsay.
Are you offering it for the...
Foundational, Your Honor.
Or it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. The objection is overruled. He may answer. I believe he answered yes, and it may stand.
All right. What do you remember hearing about an incident at the boat launch?
When I was near my position on Hartwell and White Rock, I was speaking with one of our reserve officers. We were discussing the proper timing of the opening of the road. And I overheard actually on his police radio that he was wearing squads that were not assigned to the parade being sent to a fight at Frame Park that involved knives.
Were you aware of any vehicles being associated with that fight?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
I did not hear of any vehicles associated.
What do you remember next, sir?
I remember seeing and hearing squads responding to this this fight at Frame Park. And at that time, we were still focused on opening up the roadway, and I made my way back toward my unmarked police vehicle, and I looked to my right or to the north down White Rock Avenue, and I saw a red SUV traveling toward me at a high rate of speed.
What do you mean by a high rate of speed, sir?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Overruled.
A definition, his own definition on his words is hearsay. Look at that. Look at his eyes. He's getting, now that they're talking about him, he's getting mad. Look at that face.
He may answer.
I believe the vehicle is traveling in excess of 40 miles per hour.
What's the posted speed limit there on White Rock Avenue?
It's a 25 mile per hour zone.
What about Main Street in downtown Waukesha? What's the posted speed limit there, sir?
The speed limit
Irrelevant.
Overruled. It's relevant.
the speed limit throughout the parade route is 25 miles per hour.
What did you do when you saw this red SUV traveling at a high rate of speed?
Objection, leading the witness.
The objection is noted. It's overruled.
When I saw the red SUV traveling toward me at a high rate of speed, I used both hands and waved them overhead like this in an attempt to catch the attention of the driver.
Were you dressed in a police uniform, sir?
Yes.
Let me just put on the record when the witness, so that's clear, placed both hands over his head in what I would describe as a waving kind of back and forth at a diagonal gesture. Thank you. Go ahead.
Did the car continue in your direction, or the SUV?
Yes, it did.
What did you observe the path of travel for the SUV to be?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Mr. Brooks, it's not hearsay. Your objection is overruled. You may answer.
Could you state the question one more time?
Sure, where did you see the SUV go? Better question.
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled.
The SUV entered the parade route.
He failed with the first objection. He was like, oh, I'm going to try again with another different one.
I want you to describe what you remember seeing as it passed your location, please.
As I was waving my hands overhead, I was approximately 6 feet from where the SUV was driving. As the driver passed essentially in front of me by about 6 feet, I could see the operator of the vehicle and just a dazed, straight, focused look straight ahead, not looking at anyone.
Did the driver appear to respond to your efforts to stop the vehicle?
There was absolutely no response.
Did you notice the car slow down in any fashion?
No, in fact,
Hearsay.
It's not hearsay. It's overruled. He may answer.
as the SUV passed me, I looked over the hood or the top of the police vehicle that I had positioned on the road there, fully expecting that as it passed that I would see the car slam on its brakes as it realized it had entered the parade route, figuring it was a lost motorist. I didn't see that happen. It continued into the parade route at a high rate of speed.
What did you do?
Yeah, and it's totally normal for an officer to not think too much of it, because everyone, I mean, most people has happened something like that. Like you don't know where you are. You're in a new city or something, and you accidentally go in a one-way street the wrong way. I mean, it has happened to me, but that's the reason why at first he didn't think about it. But this was a different event.
Upon seeing that, I got on my radio in an attempt to notify other personnel assigned to the parade route. I stated that a red SUV had just blown by me.
Do you remember using those exact words, sir?
Objection, that's irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
I don't know if I said a red or maroon SUV, but I remember saying that it had blown by me.
Were there parade units still on White Rock attempting to get onto the parade route at that point?
Yes.
Objection.
Were you able to see the vehicle clearly as it
Hold on,
went? I'm sorry.
He objected. It's overruled. Go ahead.
From where you were standing there, were you able to turn and watch the SUV as it traveled past you down White Rock towards Main Street?
Objection.
Overruled.
Just asked that.
I only watched it for a short period of time before returning to my squad car, knowing that some sort of police action was going to need to be taken.
What did you do once you got to your squad?
I got in my squad car. It was bombarded with the most terrible is the most terrible thing I ever heard.
The sounds. Yes. You didn't see anything at that point as far as people getting hit?
No.
Okay. I want to show you a video clip, sir. This is State's Exhibit number 2. Madam Clerk, if you could please turn on the State's table.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say that this is difficult to process. because he didn't have anyone hit, like, related to him, but this was his community. Like, he wasn't hurt, his family wasn't hurt, but his community was hurt. And it's horrible to think that anything less than that reaction can happen. And yet Darrell Brooks thinks that he can get away with it just because he learned a couple of tricks to cheat the system. It's incredible. But you can see how much it hurts. And it does. And it's awful.
Yep, I'll tell you. Okay.
Just show it to the witness.
I'll show it to you first. So, Sergeant Warner, if you look at the screen in front of you, we're going to play a video clip. It's pretty short in duration. I want you to watch it first before we show it to the jury. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
And to this day, I still haven't seen the actual videos of
Did you
people
see that
getting
clip, sir?
Yes,
hit.
Is that
Okay.
a video clip you've seen before?
I have seen that, yes.
Okay. Do you believe that's a true and accurate representation of the SUV traveling on White Rock Avenue near the start of the parade at Main Street?
Yes.
Move for admission and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The state just moved admission of Exhibit 2.
No, I object to that. Keep it.
Keep it where?
All right, the objection's noted, it's overruled. Exhibit 2, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Thank you. Please hit play. Sergeant Warner, is that consistent with the vehicle you saw traveling away from you past the parade floats that were about to enter the route?
Yes.
And is that consistent with the approximate speed you saw it traveling?
Yes.
After you became aware that something terrible was happening on the parade route, your incident commander, what do you do?
I drove in my police vehicle down toward the area that I just heard repeated over and over on the radio where the casualties had taken place, and that would have been at Main and Gaspar. And once I got to that position, I parked my vehicle as it was impossible to drive any further.
Was there a call made for assistance?
Yes, I don't know who said it, but an officer used a code over the police radio basically requesting police assistance from any officer in the county that would be listening.
Did multiple officers respond
Yes.
from within Waukesha County?
From when,
The objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
Waukesha County and far beyond.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions at this time.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
All right, that was the state's questions. This is very cut and dry. Is what happened, where was everyone located, what he did, all clear. Yes, you can. Now, let's see. Based on everything that the officer said, let's hear the questions Darrell Brooks has for him.
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, officer. First off,
Good afternoon.
I'll say this is very emotional, so I'm gonna try my best not to keep you up there any longer than you would like to be.
Too late.
My first question is, I noticed that you are in uniform today. Is it fair to say that if you weren't here testifying that you would have been on duty today?
Incredible question. Incredible question. She just spent the better part of 20 minutes listing everything that he did, and the most pertinent question that you have is, are you working today? Which is a really dumb question because this is the answer.
Is it fair to ask that or say that?
Today is an off day for me, so I would not have been at work today.
So, did you feel the testimony that you would be given at trial today warranted you to be in uniform?
Yes.
Relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, it's relevant. It's his job, and he's going to court. You have a dress code most of the time, unlike you.
You said you've been in duty for 18 years, correct?
Yes.
In any of those 18 years, have you ever come across or had any interaction with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, vague.
Sustained.
When?
You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
How long have you known the plaintiff?
Objection, vague and irrelevant.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection, vague and irrelevant.
Sustained. Next question.
Do you have any knowledge of the plaintiff?
Objection,
Sustained.
Have you ever even seen the plaintiff in this matter?
same objection.
Sustained.
I want to go to the clip that was just shown.
Would you like it shown to the witness again and published to the jury?
I'm sure would he prefer for it to be so again?
I just wanted to know if that's what you were asking. You can certainly question him about it, and if need be, it can be shown again.
Okay, can you show the witness the video clip again?
Sure. All right, I can tell from my monitor and the witness monitor it is up, but it's not being projected to the courtroom other than that. And you can go ahead and play it. All right, your question, sir.
In that clip, is it fair to say that you can see that there are people walking in the street and on the sidewalk? Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I could see that in the video.
Yes, that's what a parade is. People are walking in the sidewalk and other people are walking in the street.
Video clip.
Do you see anybody being targeted or being in a panic to get away from the vehicle?
No.
No, because they don't know what's going on. They could think there's another vehicle from the parade. Just because no one panicked yet, doesn't mean that you weren't targeting them.
Do you see the said driver of that vehicle intentionally trying to hit anyone in that video?
No.
No?
So again, I would ask, were you brought here today to testify on behalf of the plaintiff?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained. He already answered that he was why he's here.
Again, I would ask just one more time for the record. Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection,
Sustained. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Brooks?
Do you know of the plaintiff at all whatsoever?
You already asked that.
Sustained.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. You may step down. Is he released from his subpoena?
Yes, please.
All right, that was the first witness, and we have 22 objections so far by Mr. Brooks. I'm sure that number is gonna go up a lot. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.